Hi everyone and welcome to Sweet Hollow Creations. Here's a few pictures of my store and some soaps that I make. And here are some soaps on my drying rack. And today for you I'm going to be making a beautiful rose soap. I already have my oils in the bowl there. And I'm adding my sodium hydroxide. And this rose fragrance that I put together for you today is rose. I also have Tahitian wildflower in there, and then a mixed garden variety fragrance oil. So it's very, very beautiful. And right here, I'm adding some glycerin to my soap. I wanted it to have a really nice silky feel to it. Roses just remind me of silk, so I put some glycerin in this. It's basically a super fatting this back a little bit. And I'm not going to mix this very long because I do want to do a little bit of piping with it today. And so I'm just going to mix it just enough to get it, the sodium hydroxide and the oils combined. And I've chosen two different pink colors. And then I'm also going to be doing a white color. And as I said, I'll be piping the top of it when I'm finished. We'll get both of those in there. Sorry, I'm having to do a voiceover today. The sound on my camera is just not picking me up when I talk. So I decided to go with this method. I thought maybe it would be better. And what you're seeing now, I just added some titanium dioxide to my mix because the fragrance oil is going to be a little yellow, and I wanted to keep the batter, the soap, as white as I could on this part. And here I am adding some of the fragrance oil. And I do that last minute because when you go to mix some fragrance oils together like I did on this batch, it has a tendency sometimes of causing your soap to set up really, really fast. And I wanted to have time to pour it. And of course, I was smelling to see if I had enough in there. And I did. It smells wonderful. And I just did a little bit at a time. I didn't want it to get hard on me before I had a chance to pour it. And now I'm going to go ahead and mix my first pink, and I'm going to add a little fragrance oil to it. And the fragrance oils are already mixed together in the little bowl that I have there. So I did that first. And I do it by weighing it out, so I know exactly how much rose, how much Tahitian flower, and how much of the garden mix that I have in it. And then I'm going to do, this is a very, very pretty pink, the second one that I did. First one's kind of a soft pink. This one's kind of a bright fluorescent pink, so it's really pretty. And then I'll finish the rest of the fragrance oil off there. And I'm adding a little more titanium dioxide to this because, like I said, the fragrance oils have a tendency to kind of yellow it a little bit. And I wanted to keep the pinks really vibrant and pink and not have them fade into a mucky yellow later. So I went ahead and I added a little bit of that to it and I do the same thing with this pink also, just because I can't remember. I think it was a Tahitian wildflower that really, really had a pretty bright yellow, naturally yellow color to it. So I wanted to keep it pink. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour some of my white batter in first, and I'm going to keep some of that, set some of that aside because I'm going to use it to pipe on the top. And at first I thought I was going to leave it white and pipe white on the top, and I ended up at the last minute deciding I wanted it to be a really, really light, soft pink, and I really think it turned out beautiful doing it that way. And I'm pouring from way up high because I do want the pinks to go down inside of the white to make kind of a swirl on the inside of the soap. And this has such a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I love it. I really love it. And it's a lot stronger than what I thought it would be. I really didn't intend for it to be as strong as it is, but I'm really glad it turned out that strong. It really ended up beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of that in there. And I'm doing my little swirls so the colors will kind of mix a little bit together. And I don't show it on the film, but I do have to pound it down to get the air bubbles out. So, and now I'm checking my batter here. I've got to let it get a little thicker before I can pipe it. I need it kind of thick like frosting, but you got to catch it just right, because if you let it get too thick, you won't be able to pipe it. It'll be too hard. So I wait a few minutes waiting, and the only reason I'm waiting at this point was so that my soap batter would thicken a little. And like I said, I had decided at the last minute to add a little bit of pink to it and give it a soft pink look. Just because, I don't know, when I think of roses, I think of pink. Some people think of red. I like pink. So I'm piping this on. And I am going to be doing a giveaway with some of this soap here that I made. I don't normally make this. I probably won't make it again. If I do, who knows if it'll be exactly the same. But I'm going to probably post some of this on my web store. And I'm wanting to also do maybe a Facebook giveaway of a few bars of it too. So I'd like for some of you guys to get to try it out. It's, like I said, it's really pretty. It just reminds me of spring and summer. So be watching for news about that. Oh, and I did put some dried rose petals on the top. Nothing better if you're using this in the bathtub to give yourself a little rose tea bath. So the rose petals won't hurt anything. It's kind of like, you know, putting them like you would do a tea bag in water. And rose water is actually very, very good for your skin. Okay, and then I let it sit overnight, of course, because I had to let it continue to set up. And I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the mold. As you can see, I'm doing here. This is a full 4-pound loaf here. So I will get about 15 bars out of this, or I did get 15 bars out of that. And I believe I might have got a couple of samples, so some of you might be getting samples of this, but I can't remember for sure. I make a lot of soap every day, so it's hard to tell exactly, hard for me to remember exactly what I ended up with on some of the soaps. So, oh, and this turned out so pretty. It is just really, really remarkable. And that's wax paper. I'm using a mold that you don't have to line. It just doesn't work so well for me, so I really prefer lining mine with wax paper. And I do have some wooden molds. I also line them with wax paper. I generally use my wooden ones for my hot process soap, and this is a cold process here. Okay, and then I have a cutter, which is missing 2 of its strings, so I have to do a couple extra cuts on it, but I'll get that fixed one of these days. And look how beautiful that turned out. Isn't that just gorgeous? It is so pretty. Now, who would not want that sitting in their bathroom, especially if you have company coming? Or just treat yourself to something special. So there's the 15 bars. And they'll have to cure for, you know, about 4 weeks, maybe a little longer. Right now in Oklahoma, there's a whole lot of humidity, so I'm kind of fighting that with my drying rack. So hopefully 4 weeks will be enough time for it to cure. But you're absolutely going to love it. And like I said, I'll put a link below and let you know where you can get this soap at. And I might just open this page up, and anyone who responds, I might just give you an entry and do a soap giveaway with this. So be sure to watch that coming soon. I really appreciate everyone staying and watching. And I want to wish everyone a great day and many blessings. Thank you.